Hey guys, Will here, you're watching Boost Autos, and in today's video I've got something very different for you guys. Now, this box sitting beside me here is a 3D printer, and 3D printing is something that I've been looking at doing for automotive stuff for a long time now. So you might be thinking, what on earth has this got to do with Boosted Autos? Now, I've had a couple of 3D printed parts on my car before and thought that they were really interesting and that it's a really cool concept, and it's something that I've always wanted to play around with, but I've never really had the time or the money to buy a 3D printer. And Aldi Australia released a special a couple of days ago with these 3D printers, which are a decent sized printing bed. They're 200 by 200 millimeters for $500. And I thought, you know, what the heck? Let's jump in and give it a go. So I bought one. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but the intention here is to sort of create a little sub playlist for you guys. I know a lot of guys that are into cars are also into technology and this kind of thing. So I thought I'll make a little sub playlist for you guys. You can follow along if you're interested. If you're not, just skip these videos, no problems at all. But I'm gonna be trying to print a whole bunch of stuff for cars, you know, little brackets, tools, maybe even some gauge pods and things like that. Really, you know, I just wanna get creative with it and see where it goes. And, you know, if the parts that I'm making end up being popular or useful, then I can even make them available on the website as well for you guys. So I just thought it'd be something interesting to follow along if that's something that you're interested in. So what we're gonna do in this video is unbox the thing and basically see if I've bitten off more than I can chew and how it's all set up and what's actually involved in getting one of these things up and running. So stick around and check it out.
All right, so get this box opened up. So we've got sharing website to download some pre-made stuff, which looks cool. Warranty certificate. Alright, getting started guide. So we've got a fair bit of construction that we're going to have to do here by the looks of things. We've got to plug stuff in and set things up. I know you've got to level the table as well, so hopefully it'll all be pretty straightforward. So we'll set that aside for now, and it's nicely packaged. Alright, so I'm guessing that's the power cord. So what have we got here? We've got a, whatever that is, power cord, USB cord, a very fine drill bit in there as well, and a whole bunch of Allen keys and screws, and a scraper and a bracket. So the scraper, I believe, is to remove stuff that you've made from the cutting or from the printing board. So lift out the first part. We've got some loose ribbon cables there, so we've got to be very careful not to damage those. The top half, so we've got a bunch of different colour filaments, which is nice. Fresh mats to put on the printing surface if we need to, and an instruction manual.
Alright, so the next thing that you need to do is level this printing bed here so that it's completely flat relative to the extruder. So I've actually already done this. It takes quite a bit of time and it was pretty boring to watch, but what I'll do is I'll just step you through the process so you can see exactly how it's done a little bit quicker. So you go into Level Wizard, and what it'll do is it'll bring the extruder right down to the base. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this piece of card to sort of slide underneath the head until we feel a little bit of resistance sliding it under the nozzle. And then we move the head, we do the same thing in each corner and we keep going around in circles until it's completely flat. So I'll just quickly run you through it a couple of steps so you can see what I mean by that. Alright, so Level Wizard will automatically guide you to each of the 4 corners of the build plate. Using the thumb wheels, level each corner until you feel slight resistance sliding a piece of paper between the build plate and the extruder. So these are the little thumb screws here. Now I know the previous model of these 3D printers didn't have thumb screws, and one of the things you could actually print was some little thumb screws for the heads, but this one does have them, which is cool. So we'll go next. And the print head comes down. And all we need to do is just get it so that the level is so that the card has a slight bit of resistance as you slide it under the nozzle. So I might just move the camera around and see if you can see it. So we're just sliding the piece of card underneath until there's a little bit of resistance. And then what we do is we press next once we're happy with it. Moves into the next position, and then we do exactly the same thing again, and we go around in circles. Now I found that obviously when you adjust this point and then you adjust this point, when you adjust this one it makes a difference here, and then vice versa on the back side as well. So as you adjust it, it does affect the ones that you've already adjusted a little bit again. So what you need to do is you need to go around and fine tune it a couple of times. I actually went around 3 complete circles until I was completely happy with it. So move to the back. And again, just slide the card under, slight little bit of resistance there. The aim here, what we're actually trying to achieve is to have the extruder nozzle, what is it, 0.1 of a millimeter off the printing bed. So basically the thickness of this little card that comes with the kit. Okay, so once you're happy that the printing surfaces are completely level, what you need to do, and this is a really important step because if you miss it, you can actually damage your printing bed. So you want to make sure you do this before you try and print something. So hit back. Go into Quick Menu, Home XYZ, which removes it to its home position. And then what we want to do is press Move and move the Z axis up until the printing head or the extruder is well away from the bed here. Now, the reason for doing that is when you're heating up the elements before you start printing something, the printer head stays in one place. And if you've got a lot of heat there, because we're talking sort of 200 degrees, if you've got a lot of heat there, it can actually damage the printing surface where the thing is sitting stationary. So obviously when it's moving across the printing surface, it's not a problem because it never gets hot enough to cause any damage. But if it's sitting there in the one space for a long time, it can damage it. So you want to make sure that that extruder is lifted up before you start printing. So once you've done that, hit back again to the main menu, and we should be ready to start printing. Alright, so I've got a BMW M Performance logo file on here, which I'm going to try and print. Now, it's something that I just prepared in the software that comes with it, and I'll show you how to do that in another video, but I thought we would give this a try just as a test print as a first thing to see how it goes. So, M logo keyring, and we'll see what comes out. So, the first thing that needs to happen is the bed temperature is going to warm up. Once the bed temperature is up to temperature, then the extruder temperature will warm up, and once both of those are up to operating temperature, then it should start printing. Alright, so we're up to temperature now, so we should see some action. There we go.
That is so cool. I'm gonna grab the camera up. As you can see, the lattice structure that it's building itself. Well, let's leave it for a while and see what we get. So we're 90% done now. Looking good. Sort of lift a corner. There we go. That is so cool. So we're going to break all this plastic away, and it's just breaking off by hand. In one piece. Oh, look at that! It actually comes off in one piece. Including the bottom. How cool is that? So now we just need to sand it a little bit, and I'm really surprised. I honestly thought that I'd need to break that off with pliers or something, but it just came away. So that is really cool. Alright, so there is the final result of the keyring, and I'm really impressed with how it's turned out, to be honest with you. I didn't think it would be that good, especially for a first ever print of something. So I've got the printer running again now, as you can see, and I'm printing a tripod mount for a smartphone, which is something that I've always wished I had, but not wanted to fork out the money for. So you can't really see it yet, but it's coming along pretty well, and this is going to be about a 6 or a 7 hour print. So look, the plan is to print a whole bunch more stuff. I'm going to start designing some car parts and tools and things like that. So look, if this is something that you're interested in, please do let me know in the comments below. I know it's something completely different for the channel, but I just thought it might be a sort of interesting little playlist. If you're not interested in the slightest, let me know as well, and I might sort of make sure I don't do too many videos about it. But yeah, look, let me know. Now look, as far as the printer's concerned, it's not really a review video, but I've got to just say this. I've really been impressed with how easy the whole thing was to set up. It all just worked straight out of the box. All the tools that you needed came with it. The software that came with it was easy, and I guess most of all, the instructions are in plain English. They're easy to understand. And yeah, look, honestly, for the money, I can't fault this thing at all. So look, I hope you found the video interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.